primary ignition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Life at Lightspeed podcast. My name is Colin, and today we're here with a special guest, an amazing human being, and he also is a Max Rebo four-limb believer like me. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Bobby.
Hello there. Thank you for having me on, Colin. What an intro, by the way.
I got you.
Just spirited me away. I'm just...
So that intro, I don't think a lot of people know this, but my friend Chris Cutting, he is actually in the music business, and he actually composed that. That is a original, like, actual music piece. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic. That's so great. We do that too, actually, for rebelscum.com.
Cool.
Our intro music for our review content on the main website, rebelscum.com, and a lot of our other content at the moment is composed by Eric Walker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that, but Eric Walker actually composed that. He also composes and makes music. He's got a few albums that he's made over the years. So aside from starring in the Ewoks movies, he also makes music too. So
I am so glad last year, when I think it was the last day, you like told me he was there, and for some reason I must have missed it because it was running all over the place. So I was like, I need to go talk to him. So I did this interview, and I was geeking out the entire time. So and then, like, I think near the end of the interview, he was saying hashtag Mace lives, and I was like, yes, Eric, let's go. So yeah,
we do need Lucasfilm. Amongst all the other exciting things they have in the works for us right now, we do need them to circle back to Mace Tawani and Sindel to see what's going on with them, because Mace lives. We've got so many other things back into canon from the Ewok movies: the Gorax, the Wisties, the Ewoks being terrifying and getting people. So many things from it, and we need more Caravan of Courage and Battle for Endor back.
Yes.
Yep.
So for the news this week, before we get into the news, we will dive into this con that you may have heard of. It's called Rebel Scum Con. So we'll talk about that first, and then the other news is there's going to be lightsabers in the new Starfighter movie. Reportedly, the new leadership will be announced over at Lucasfilm, and a new look at the Mandalorian. So before we get started, we just want to give a huge shout out to the Virtual Cantina Network. They are an amazing group. They have so many events, including one that will be at Rebel Scum Con this year, Boonta Eve 2. It's going to be amazing because the last one was fantastic. So if you haven't yet, gear up for that. But yeah, let us dive into Rebel Scum Con for this year.
Year 3 is coming up this August 7th through the 9th, 2026 at the Frisco Conference Center in Frisco, Texas. Year 2 was an absolute blast. We got to work with the Virtual Cantina Network for truly the first time in person. We worked with them, I think, a little bit on year 1, but that was mostly just online. But year 2, we actually came together, and it was an absolute fantastic time. Just hats off to Spencer and the entire crew for making year 2 so absolutely special. And I don't know if you can tell, I'm always having a cup of calf on me because we haven't been sleeping until Bunta Eve 2 Electric Boogaloo, because there's no sleep till Bunta. So if you're feeling it like I am, that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty of calf. Just get yourself a cup, add your favorite creamer or whatever, and we'll get to Bunta Eve 2 together, where we're gonna party like it's no tomorrow, because Bunta Eve 2 is gonna be an absolute blast. But year 3 is coming up. Tickets are on sale now for Rebel Scum Con year 3. Yesterday we went live on our social channels announcing that autograph pre-sales will be going up soon. February 1st is what we're shooting for. So expect to be able to pre-order autographs for currently 7 announced guests for Rebel Scum Con 3, with more to be announced in the near future.
Yeah, I am beyond excited for this list, and I really can't wait to see of the upcoming announcements. You know, I would love something with Max Rebo. I think that would be pretty cool, but we'll have to see for the future. But yeah, no, the lineup so far is fantastic, and I love that Kyle is coming back. He is such an incredible human being, and I remember doing my interview with him, and then afterwards, we were just talking about life, and I told him that I just had a son, and he gave me like a 10-minute like new dad speech, and we just sat there like talking about that. He like put his hand on my shoulder, and we just talked it out, and was like, "This is so cool. He's such a nice guy." So
That's amazing.
yeah, so I cannot wait for him to come back. And not just that, you also have Denise, who is coming, for the first time as well. And her character in Andor was remarkable. So seeing these two together is going to be fantastic.
We are very excited. We were actually trying to make it happen on year 2. Actually, we've been trying to make that happen since year 1, to be totally honest, because Tucky and I are big time Andor fans. So those are a pair of guests that we've really wanted for quite some time, just for our own selfish Star Wars fan reasons. And it's just really exciting that everybody else is just as excited to meet them as we are. And the other really cool thing is this will be the first time they have ever signed together in the United States. So not the first time they've ever been to the United States, but the first time they will have attended an event together and signed together in the US. So really awesome to be able to host that for them. It truly is an honor. But there's also some other really cool guests. We have some fantastic actors from the Mando series, plural. We have 2 sets of the hands that made Star Wars for us. One of the pairs of hands that made physical models and sets, and the other hand that painted a lot of the beautiful scapes and backgrounds and chasms for us from the original trilogy. So a lot of awesome talent at RSC3, with more talent to be announced soon. And I'm excited to see what's coming up in Star Wars soon. We got some pretty fantastic news in the past week, not just for Mando and Grogu, but for some other stuff as well. Some of it was very unexpected too.
Yeah. So recently, and I never thought I would say, of the sentence, but Tom Cruise directed a lightsaber fight. And and as soon as I read that, I dived deeper into it, and Sean Levy actually went like into what happened, where they were filming on this kind of giant waterscape set, and Tom Cruise flew in on his helicopter, and apparently they were playing the Mission Impossible music like as he was landing, and he hops off the helicopter, and then Sean was showing him around, and they were talking about this lightsaber scene, and as a joke to Tom, he said, "Hey, do you want to put your skills into use? Do you want to, say something, direct something?" And he said as a joke, but Tom took it seriously. So he just hops in the water and he starts directing the scene. And I'm so intrigued of what that's going to look like because not only did we learn that, we learned that there's going to be lightsabers in this when we thought there wasn't going to be, of just the way that they've been talking about it. So now I'm very, very intrigued to see what this movie is really going to be. And we know it takes place after episode 9, but other than that, like, we don't know anything major. So what are your thoughts on it?
Dude, I think that is such a wild and ridiculous story. I mean, but it does sound like something Tom Cruise would do. I mean, just showing up, blaring your own theme music. All right, I'm just gonna direct the scene. What is this guy doing here? But at the same time, you know, I don't think we've actually had Tom Cruise involved in a Star Wars project yet. So the idea is very interesting, especially since he just finished with Mission Impossible as a series as a whole. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's looking forward to that next rush of something to do. I'm just glad that he didn't delay this movie's production to learn how to pilot an actual real life X-Wing like he did with Top Gun Maverick.
Right. And
that was nuts.
And the other funny thing too is that this movie is actually being compared to Top Gun because they wanted to have like the actual flight scenes and the dogfights up in the air to feel like that. And it's so funny because in Top Gun, no joke, it had that Star Wars vibe, and at some point they actually had to shoot a missile, but a torpedo into a small port.
Yeah,
episode 4. So it's just
after doing a trench run.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't think it's that far up his alley, but I'm really excited to see of that scene directed by Tom Cruise. That is going to be really interesting. And if his name is not in the credits of that movie, I'll be very disappointed because of seeing his credits in the Star Wars movies is just going to be wild. But yeah,
I wonder if he insisted on being in it too. I wonder if he ended up participating in the lightsaber fight at all, because he's a very action-based guy. He loves doing his own stunts. He wants to have that realism with himself, with the project he's working on. So I'm wondering if at some point he's like, no, you're not doing it right. And he just charges in there and grabs the saber and starts doing it himself. But it'll be interesting to see, especially when the behind the scenes come out for that.
Yeah. So it definitely is going to be really interesting, and we have to wait until 2027.
I know.
But, yeah.
Hey, at least we get a new Star Wars movie this year, though.
Yes.
The long wait is finally over since 2019.
Yeah. You might have seen some of the stuff I've been doing, but on January 1st, I announced, actually on New Year's Eve, I announced for 143 days, I'm posting 143 Mandoverse facts. So every single day I'm posting a new one where it's of the whole Mandoverse. So the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, the Book of Boba Fett, and Skeleton Crew. And I talked lore and behind the scenes that it might be some things people know, some things that people don't know. But I've been having a blast with that. And it was actually just talking to Grayson, and Grayson was shooting some facts my way, and I was like, oh yeah. So yeah, no, it's been a blast. But specifically for the Mandalorian and Grogu, there's this new picture that dropped recently, and it's a new look of Mando. And I think the area that he's in, I think it could be maybe a AT-AT, but I want to focus more on the armor, because in this angle, it just looks a lot different than what we normally see Mando. It kind of looks like his gauntlets are maybe bigger. I feel like his flight vest underneath is like his kind of short sleeve looks longer. What's your take on it? Because it just looks different.
It looks cleaner.
Yeah.
It looks even more clean. I mean, he looked pretty cleaned up when he switched from the rusted mixed matched armor in the very first season to the full Beskar, and it's, I feel, gotten progressively more tightened up, cleaner in his look and his image as the seasons have progressed, and this just looks like a further progression of that to me. As far as the armor plates go, they look. I don't particularly see any new plates compared to what we last saw him, other than maybe his left gauntlet looks the most different to me.
They took his
Versus his
whistling
right, it's
birds,
hard to see on the
right?
right one.
Yeah, because I think they took his whistling birds away in season 3 when they uh captured him in that, I believe it was the second to last episode in the
Yeah,
Mandalorian, and I don't know if he got them back because I'm not seeing them in that picture. I could be wrong, but
I'm not either. I'm not seeing
yeah,
him in that picture either, and I agree.
yeah. So, yeah, no, I can't believe that film is coming out this year. I think it's going to answer a lot of questions that that we've had like since season 3. And I think it's definitely going to set things up, you know, probably for Ahsoka. I'm expecting some type of tease of Thrawn, and then, you know, the overall big film that I'm very excited for, which is like the big Avengers type style film that Dave Filoni is doing with, like, you know, it's going to have a crossover with Ahsoka and, you know, some people that we haven't seen a live action yet, such as Cal Kestis, which I'm hoping that they do, because you know, we know the actor wants to come in. We know that Cameron Monaghan wants to come in as Cal, so it'd be super cool to see him on screen. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. Also, Jeremy Allen White as a Hutt, you know, that it's just so interesting. I'm very excited, but yeah.
Not just a Hutt, but Rhoda the Hutt, a character we haven't
Stinky.
seen since one of the episodes of Clone Wars. I want to say it was maybe the Baron Papanoida episode was probably the last episode we see him in.
4.
Was it season 4?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the last time we see him, because that, you know, that's when George Lucas's character from Revenge of the Sith, you Deep Lore fans out there, that's where Baron Papanoida makes an appearance to find out where his daughters are going or have been kidnapped to, because Greedo kidnapped his daughters on Coruscant and then sent one to the Trade Federation guys and one somewhere else, and they were trying to appeal to Jabba the Hutt as a father, so they used Rhoda in that, I believe. But yeah, it's the last time I can recall ever seeing Rhoda anywhere in Star Wars canon before this upcoming movie.
I was expecting to see him in the Book of Boba Fett, but then they had these 2 Hutts that we never heard before, which were the twins, and we know that they're coming back in the Mandalorian and Grogu because they are on the official poster that they have. So we know they're coming back, but having that character come back is super cool just because we haven't seen him in a while. You know, will we get a Stinky and Snips reunion? Maybe. That would be hilarious,
dude.
That would just catch everyone off guard and be like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Stinky, my goodness, you've grown.
So have you. Yeah.
they gotta bring that line back.
Oh my god.
More beautiful, I mean.
Oh boy. So yeah, I think there is just going to be so much going on with that movie and in such a great way. And Zeb is going to be a main character in it, which is super cool. And we got that tease in Mando season 3. And then, you know, we're having him as a full-fledged character in this. And for me personally, I was kind of bummed that they didn't have him in Ahsoka, because you had Hera, you had Ezra, and you had Sabine. And if I feel like if there was any hint,
and Chopper,
and you cannot forget
Chopper. He'll get you, bro.
I'm not forgetting Chopper. But I just feel like the whole crew should have been there to like try and like help out. And the fact that Zeb wasn't even mentioned, or like no, I think Zeb was mentioned, but I don't think Zeb was not even there at like any capacity. I think if he was in one of the X-Wings, maybe helping Hera.
I'm kind of expecting that.
Yeah,
actually. Yeah. When the X-Wing showed up, to that really, what was that planet called again? The really pretty one with the red trees.
I'm not gonna remember that one.
I don't remember right now. But I really thought Zeb was gonna be among them. when that happened, because it would have been just like, I feel, one of the best ways to have him make an appearance without maybe using him as a just, oh hey, look at that, kind of character, or to distract from what's going on with the main story. I feel like there's still a way he could have been there without disrupting what was going on. Like even a holocom call
Yes.
when the X-Wings are about to come. Like maybe Zeb could have called ahead and said, "Hey, Hera, you got some X-Wings coming your way." That would have been. I think that would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, or at least leave a voicemail saying, "Hey, I can't make it. I've got this stuff going on. I've got this stuff going on with Mando, and then tie in the movie with Mandalorian and Grogu, just something like that."
Or at the Senate.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he
Yeah.
at the Senate?
Yeah. I feel like if C-3PO can show up, Zeb can show up. I mean, come
That was
on.
awesome, though.
Yes, it was.
C-3PO had a really good moment in that.
Yep. Yeah. And the fact that they had Mon Mothma come back as well was super cool. And yeah. So I am very interested.
Was so good.
Yeah, so good. Season
So
2 is
good.
going to be amazing. Have you seen the concept trailer that they showed at Star Wars Celebration
For season 2?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So that, it leaked online. I took a peek because I was just curious because I wasn't there.
I try to catch them before they're scrubbed.
But there is one shot which I think you'll be very excited about. But there's one shot of Chopper where he actually has a blaster. So that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see that in live action. But there was just so many cool, like, different, like, alien creature designs that we've never seen before. It looked like we were definitely going to dive deeper into the world between worlds. And Hayden Christensen is also, we know he's going to be involved in season 2, which is super cool. And hopefully Ewan, because he's been saying he wants to come back as Obi-Wan in his Clone Wars armor. So why not do it in season 2 of Ahsoka? Just saying. But yeah, so I think that whole season 2 is just going to be absolutely insane, because season 1 was kind of like re-establishing like certain characters and stuff and kind of moving the plot forward, and of just kind of diving deeper into characters. But now that we've done that, we can, let the story move forward and focus on that. So now it's not going to be like different kind of side arcs of where we're learning more about Ahsoka and Sabine. It's going to be more of the plot and having that go forward. And I just can't wait to see, like, of where that story goes. It's just going to be absolutely insane.
If we get Force Ghost Ewan, though, they have to address the Force Ghost appearance elephant in the room. Like they actually have to do something verbally in canon, in conversation, to explain why Anakin is now appearing as his younger self, like we changed in Return of the Jedi, and why Ewan looks like his younger self instead of his Alec Guinness self, which he had only previously appeared as a Force Ghost. Unless we're going to get a really good Ewan, Alec Guinness kind of makeup recreation, which I'm not against.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
I think they could totally do that. I mean, they were doing that with
Repo elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Spencer.
Wait, hang on. Oh, yep. Hey, why not, Spencer? Why not? That would be awesome. Yes.
I mean, that we got to figure out when Max Rebo gets got, though, because he keeps dodging explosive performances. He survived the katana. He just so happened to be on break when the club went up in Mos Espa. So, I mean, maybe somebody out there is gunning for Max Rebo, and he just keeps on sliding by.
Is Max Rebo force sensitive? Question mark.
Maybe he felt it in his toes on his regular legs.
Max Rebo is the mastermind. Oh man, but yeah,
Somehow Max
Spencer,
Rebo returned.
yeah, exactly. Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because the Virtual Cantina Network actually has a shirt that does say that. Somehow Max Rebo returned. I do have that shirt. I'm not wearing it, but I do have that shirt from them, and it is fantastic. I wear it all the time. But Spencer does have a great point, which is I wonder who will be the lead great mother. So
That is a great question.
What that is referring to is in Legends there, I mean, well, so in canon, we know there's the son, we know there's the daughter, and then we know that there's the father. And this is referring to Mortis.
Yep.
There was in Legends, there was the great mother Abeloth. There's a chance
stepmother.
Yes, there's a chance that that character will appear in this because we are diving deeper into the Force. This is all the cool, weird stuff that Dave Filoni really loves. He loved doing everything with Mortis, with George Lucas when they were doing that in the Clone Wars. So if someone was going to do that, it's going to be Dave Filoni, and it would make sense to bring that character in. There have been rumors that maybe Natalie Portman, she would be like some type of of where like she would be like the vessel of that character. That would be interesting. But yeah, so I'm very intrigued to see. And then Spencer said Claudia Black is not returning, but Jane Seymour and Gerald Prescott are back. He's referring to the
three great mothers.
Yes.
From Peridia.
Oh, okay. That's what he meant. Okay. I thought think. Yes, that's what he meant. I was thinking of the Abeloth character, but yeah.
Well,
yes.
But there's been a lot of, I mean, you were still on the right track, I think, because there has been a lot of fan speculation that Abeloth is probably the mysterious force calling to, why am I blanking on his name?
Baylan.
Thank you, Baylan Skoll.
Yeah.
In season 1 of Ahsoka, because at the very end we do see him standing on one of the ruined statues with a bright star in the distance where it's pointing in the direction for him to go. And with the way things shaked out with the son and the daughter in the Clone Wars, while it's also possible that this could be some kind of machination of the son, it feels like they're trying to maybe bring back Abeloth, or at least going the Abeloth route, I feel makes more sense and would be a very, very cool deep cut. And I hope Dave goes for that. I really genuinely, truly hope he shoots for that, because I think that would be a really cool and scary addition to Star Wars. Star Wars is filled with a lot of terrifying creatures and concepts, and in some cases, like Abeloth, eldritch-like horrors. And I mean, having that get added in would be like a really cool and terrifying twist, I think. Yeah. Especially when you have the Star Whale graveyard ringing around Peridia, and then there's just, I wouldn't say life necessarily thriving on Peridia, mostly subsisting or preying on something else.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there, and my theory is that the way that they'll get back home is that they'll be going through the world between worlds, and they'll go through a portal that ends up like leading them back to their galaxy. That just makes the most sense to me.
Unless they hitch back a ride with another Star Whale that decides they want to go home.
Right. That would be the only alternate route, but I could see them bringing in the world between worlds for that specific reason, because when Dave Filoni does something, it normally is for a reason. And I think if they are bringing back the world between worlds, I think that when Ahsoka and Sabine go through, Ahsoka is going to be like, hey, this is what's going to happen. You'll see some weird things in there. And not only that, I think this is the perfect opportunity to do some really, really cool, like super cool stuff in the world between worlds, where maybe we see different glimpses from stuff that was legends, right? So like of just different timelines. So if we see Sam Witwer as Starkiller from Force Unleashed, that would be cool. Like of just walking through a portal and just seeing him in the costume would be sick. We've already seen like his Sith stalker costume in Andor. So why not just have him be there? We know he loves that character, especially after the panel that Will did over at Rebel Scum Con. Like he loves that character. And then yeah, right. And then Spencer said Ashley for the daughter and
I think that would
Sam.
be
Yes.
an absolutely beautiful decision for Lucasfilm to make.
I agree. And then Sam would come. He would come back as the son.
I mean, even though it's animated, it does kind of look like it's loosely based off of Sam's likeness too. So I don't think it would be weird to expect a son physically played by Sam Witwer, especially like in the shape Sam Witwer's currently in. I feel like he could easily still portray characters like that, especially ones that are going to be in heavy makeup.
Yeah. I just like, could you imagine they are just walking through the world between worlds, and there's just different kind of portals, like kind of doors, windows where we see like different like things like from different periods of time, like something for the Old Republic or something, and then Sabina's like, "Whoa, who's that?" And it's just Starkiller just fighting Darth Vader or something, like for like a split second. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Like that would be a great way to pay homage to some of the things that have kind of paid forward, because there is a the Sith Stalker armor is not the only Force Unleashed Easter egg that we've had in live action. There is the Flame Trooper from the Mandalorian in season 1 that we've gotten as well. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
So
it was in Force Unleashed first.
Yep. So Jon Favreau was like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's add that in there." So I hope they keep doing more things like that, because there's so much potential. And I think this would be a great way to, kind of put things in there for the fans that people love, and where it would make sense of where it would just be them running through and they see a portal and they just see that for a split second. Like everyone would flip out. Everyone would be happy about it. It would be so cool.
If you had to pick the moment that they're looking at, though, what would you pick? I would probably go with something like maybe when he's fighting Ozzik Stern on Kashyyyk in that big souped up ATST or something like that, because that's one of my favorite Force Unleashed moments. What would you pick?
Man, I think I would probably say between him fighting Darth Vader on the Death Star, or maybe I can't think of the name. It wasn't a Rancor. It was the other larger creature in the Force Unleashed 2.
The Gorog.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that
thing. Oh my gosh! Did you ever read the Force Unleashed mini comic that came out after that mission?
It like the main story followed Boba Fett. Yes.
Yeah, it's when it's like while Boba is tracking Starkiller during the events of the game.
I haven't read that in a while.
He didn't fully kill the Gorog, so Boba Fett finishes it off when he's tracking down Starkiller on, I think that was what, Cato Neomoidia? It was one of the Neomoidias.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I have to go back and play those games. Oh no. But yeah. Yeah, I just feel like there's so much opportunity. Like even walking through a panel and maybe you see something from the Shadows of the Empire, you see the Outrider with like Dash Rendar. That would be cool. They could totally do it. Just walking through and just seeing different things from Legends, so that way they're kind of paying homage to that and the fans as well who love those different games and stuff like that. It would be so cool. So cool. And maybe we would get like a live action version of the Delta Squad from Republic Commandos. Like of it would just be so cool. Just seeing that in the window for like a split second would be awesome. But yeah, I could talk about that all day of just all of the different possibilities. But there is, so in other news, there is reports of new leadership that will be announced within the next next couple of weeks, and it sounds like Dave Filoni and I don't want to mispronounce her name, so I'm just gonna make sure I have it. Lynn Wen Brennan are the two people that are up for the job. However, they would be partners. So Dave Filoni would look more at the creative side of things, and then she would do everything else, it sounds like. I think that's a good move if that ends up happening, just because of, I don't think that I would, because Dave Filoni is one of the last people that actually really worked with George Lucas that is now in the creative, like, areas of Lucasfilm. So taking him away from that and making it more of a leadership role where he sees everything, I think it would take him away from the creative side. And in a way, Dave Filoni is George Lucas's Padawan. Like, yeah, like he learned from him. And we have seen that so much through all the different Star Wars projects that he's done since the Clone Wars, and I want that to keep going. So I think having him in the creative side of things instead of being the leader of the whole company, I think that is a very, very smart idea.
I also think it's a good move. It seems like if that is the truth, because this isn't the first time we've heard these types of rumors. I mean, there's been rumors that Dave might be taking Kathleen's place along with somebody else, whether that was Jon Favreau or another talented creative, since I want to say season 1 of The Mandalorian. Rumors like that have been circulating for a really long time. So, but it is interesting to wonder and look at the possibility of that. And I think it could be a good move for Lucasfilm as a whole. It might be like they're taking a page out of DC's playbook at the moment, because we're seeing some really good positive success from DC Studios with the partnership between James Gunn and Peter Safran over there. And a lot of those projects have been, for the most part, what they had been promised, and very entertaining, and have had a lot of good feel-good moments to them, especially Superman. I mean, Superman was probably, I think, my favorite movie that came out in 2025. I mean, I don't know if I had ever, or at least recently, left a movie theater having watched a movie feeling like just so good about myself, I don't know. There was just something about that movie that just made you feel great. It was really awesome.
I agree with that. I felt like, and I have nothing against the Henry Cavill version of Superman, because I think he was playing him differently than what we were used to. He was playing a very kind of strict, more kind of live action style. I think what David Cornsweet, yes, and I think David Cornsweet did such a great portrayal of Superman, because it felt like classic comic book Superman. I mean, he was fighting the giant monster in the city, and there was a squirrel, and he flew in and he saved the squirrel. That's like comic book Superman. Like,
so glad that didn't get cut. I'm so glad, because they James had said that they had almost cut that part, and there were some test audiences and some people within the studio that were demanding it get cut because of the ridiculous nature of him going as far as to save a squirrel as well. But James was saying when he was editing it on like the cutting room floor, that whenever he took it out, it made the rest of the sequence not work as well, because it was a transitionary scene within that sequence as well. So he just went from here to here, and without that scene, it just kind of makes it seem like he teleports from one place to another. So it's so he had to leave it in there. But also, I'm glad he left it in there because that is Superman. He wants to save everyone, not just some people or the people who think he should save, you know?
Yeah, and I think my favorite moment of that movie is when he gives the human speech. That was well written, and I loved how they showed the behind the scenes of that too, of where like him and James Gunn were like talking about it, and they both were kind of arguing, but like in a nerd way of being like, no, he's like this. It's like, no, he's like this, and then they like talked it out, and then they both agreed, and end of the final scene that we see in the movie is just phenomenal. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where DC goes, and I'm excited for the Green Lantern show. And actually, the actor who's playing Jon Stewart, he is in the Star Wars Starfighter film. So yeah, I cannot wait.
I can't wait to see how that's going to turn out too. I mean, we're gonna get a Green Lantern as probably an X-wing pilot too, which is just going to be awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I just feel like there's a lot to look forward to these next couple of years as nerds, because I remember after the finale of Peacemaker, I was like, well, there's no more DC for the rest of the year. Now what? So yeah, so I can't wait to see. But yeah, no, man, there is a lot to look forward to these next couple of years, next couple of months. Rebel Scum Con, Star Celebration, Boonta Eve. So many great things with so many incredible people. But yeah, it is 4:42. So.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. Well,
yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I had an absolute blast chatting about all the upcoming stuff with you. And let me know if you want to talk more Star Wars at some point.
Dude, of course, and maybe next time I will have my PowerPoint of Max Rebo. I'll put it like right behind me, and we'll just talk about, of why he has 4 limbs and why Nemo is wrong.
Anatomy lecture about Autolins, and how we fixed it. We got it right. It got corrected with the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. We got to see it 4 limbs. He's standing right there with his eyes wide open as droids march in front of him because they ransacked his home where he lives. That is Baby Max Rebo. Yes, that series isn't technically canon, but
not anymore.
Many of the characters, concepts, and battles that took place. In fact, I think practically every battle has been named somewhere else in canon at this point, are canon. So I'm just saying. He's got 4 limbs.
I enjoy our friendship a lot. Thank you. Because you're just because I've got so many other people that are close friends with me, and they're like, Colin, you're crazy. And I'm like, yes, but also like, and then I just got this giant, like, kind of pinboard. But yeah. So yeah, no, it's been a blast having you on, and we will definitely have you on soon. Is there anything else you wanted to plug? Go to rebelscumcon.com and buy your tickets now.
Conventions with an s.com. Actually, if you're going to, no, not at all. If you're going to look and book your experience for Rebel Scum Con Year 3, once again coming up August 7th through the 9th, you want to go to Rebel Scum Conventions with an s.com today. And for anything regarding Boonta Eve coming up for Rebel Scum Con, well, make sure you're following all of the Virtual Cantina Network social media sites, channels, podcasts, and more, because that's where you're going to get all of the scoop for that fantastic event happening alongside Rebel Scum Con Year 3 this August through the 7th. But I got to set up for the Order 66 Toys Friday night live show here on Facebook/Meta. That'll be in 3 hours and 15 minutes. We go live at 7 p.m. Central Time every Friday night. So we're going to be showcasing all kinds of awesome, cool Star Wars characters, toys, and more, some of which are from Shadows of the Empire. which
There you
we
go.
were talking about earlier. We're going to have some original Shadows of the Empire figures in our show tonight. So if you like
That's
that,
pretty
come
cool.
check us out.
100%. Yeah. Again, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
For for super quick for me, I'm doing 143
Ooh.
Mandoverse facts for 143 days leading up to the premiere of the Mandalorian and Grogu. So go and check out the Life at Lightspeed podcast social media on Instagram, and Blue Harvest, my account, Instagram as well, Facebook and TikTok as well. Life at Lightspeed podcast on TikTok. But yeah, we have so much to look forward to. Virtual Cantina Network has so much going on. This year is going to be crazy. Thank you so much all for listening. May the Force be with you.
You rebel scum.
Forever and always.